Hello guys, welcome back to another tutorial. Today we are going to be making our very own custom web browser in Visual Basic. So before this video starts, I am going to give you a quick look at what it might look like. So it's basically what it'll look like. It will load up Google when it first starts. But anyways, let's just get right into it. First off, we need to do File, New. Accidentally exited out of that. Again. No! My mouse. Okay. Oh my god, my mouse. Okay, Project. Make a new project. I'll just call this YouTube's browser. I don't know. And it'll create the project, which will be back when it does. Okay, so it's generated this window and all this stuff here. What we want to do is size our window to what we want it to be. Size our window. I'll just make it that size. And this is like perfect size, I guess. Not really. But anyways, I just changed the name of this to be browser. Go down. We can change the icon, do a whole bunch of stuff, change the size. Now we want to open up Toolbox, and in Toolbox search for web. Should just get to it right away. Okay, web browser. Put it in there. It will fill up the whole thing, but we do not want that. So go down to Layout and click Dock. Go to the down arrow from Fill, which I know you can't see, and just click None. So now you can customize the size and leave about that much space. I just need to scroll over. And now put that down. So now that we have sized our browser, we need to add buttons, which I need to pause and be right back. Okay, sorry about that guys, but anyways, I'm back. So now time for us to create some buttons. Go into the toolbox, type in button. Drag that in there, copy it using Control and C, and paste it a couple times. This can be our back button, forward, and refresh. Let's just resize these. Just to show butt there. And now that's good. Now we can show or get a text box, which we do Control C and Control V. So now we put that about there. Expand it to our liking. Put a go button, which we can make smaller. And make a search bar. And make a search button. So basically we just set up the buttons, not to do anything yet, and our URL box and our search box. So now let's just change this text at the top here which is in appearance. Let's change the text to back. This can be any text, doesn't matter. forward, reload or refresh, whatever you want. This can be go, and this can be search. And now close properties. So let's just take these, control, click, 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 and move those down here. And let's expand our URL bar. Just make it perfect. So now that we have all the buttons, let's expand this. So now let's copy this button. No, this button's good. Copy that button, paste it a whole bunch of times. And this can be Google. Okay, so these are like bookmarks. Google, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Gmail, I guess. So then we go to properties, text, YouTube, the name doesn't matter. Twitter, Facebook, Google, and Gmail. So now let's just set up everything. So go into the codes, double click the little bar where it has the name of browser, and it should generate this. So now what you want to do is go web browser 1. So that just calls upon our web browser and makes it navigate to the URL of http://www.google.com. So that means when this program, our web browser, first starts up, it will navigate to the website of google.com. So now if we go to here, we can set up our back button by just double clicking on it. Now our back button is just web browser 1 dot go back. That's all it is. Double click this, and web browser 1 dot go forward. Reload is web browser 1 dot refresh. Now go is web browser 1 dot navigate, then do brackets and do quotation marks. Oh no, not quotation marks for this, sorry. Text box 1 dot text, which will make the web browser navigate to text box 1. Well, the text of our first text box. When we click the go button. So now let's set up the search button. What we have to do is web browser 1 dot navigate, and then we have to do quotation marks http://www.google.com. Now /search question mark Q equals, and now now we do plus and do text box 2 dot text. So basically what that's doing is navigating the web browser to the Google search URL and adding the text box at the end, or second text box, text to that URL and loading that URL. So now we can go to form 1, design, and now YouTube. This will be web browser 1 dot navigate, some brackets, and now this I believe is YouTube, so http://www.youtube.com. So I'll navigate us to YouTube. And Twitter, same thing, so let's just use copy and paste method. Twitter.com, and now go to Facebook, paste, paste, oopsies, Facebook.com, Google, and that needs an E up there, and now Gmail. Okay, so yeah, it should be working. You can change the icon if you want, and let's just start it up. And wait for it to load. I'll be back once it loads. Okay, so I'm back. Here we go. It is loaded. We can, as you can see, it started up on Google, and we can go to youtube.com and hit go from here. And now it'll load YouTube. But right now my internet's slow. Well, probably just my computer from Bandicam. But now YouTube can, well, revert back, I guess I could say, using our back button. If it could just load, I hit the back button. There we go, and forward, and reload. Yeah, it's reloaded it. Twitter, our bookmark of Twitter should load, and we did everything the same, so all of our other bookmarks will work. Now test this out, search, and yeah, so it works. So now there is a way to make hotkeys for this and this, but I do not recommend it. Just makes everything much harder. It screwed up my other web browser actually. Well, my first web browser, but basically whenever you hit enter on something, it will load this, and sometimes it has nothing in it, so it will just load a white page. And then for this, it can't be enter for this, or else it'll just load this. And if I were you, I'd just stick to the buttons. So I'll not show how to do that. And now we just close that after we ran or saved all. And now we can go ahead and go to our search menu and search documents. Click that. Go to Visual Studio, Projects, YouTube's browser, YouTube browser, whatever the name was, then go to bin, and then debug. Also back there in YouTube's browser, or in bin, was it? Okay, so in YouTube's browser here, okay, after to YouTube's browser, you will see the source code form1.vb and form1.designer.vb. That is our source codes. This will have like all the buttons and everything. This will have all the code that we wrote. So in bin and debug, we got all the programs. I'm not sure why it has all of these. But right here, we got our browser. Control C. So now, let's just delete that. Yes. Control V. YouTube's browser. Rename. Browser. We can rename it to anything and it'll still work. But, just in case when you change the icon inside Visual Basic, or whatever that thing's called, Visual Studio, and it doesn't change the icon, you can download a program in the description below called Icon Changer, but deal with it at your own risk because it made all my icons look like this. Like, these are all shortcuts that I could change the icon with. But now let's just run it. So now it's working properly. As you can see, it loads up Google, YouTube.com, Go, there we go. It has all of that. We can reload and everything. Everything works. Just now, I'd like to thank you guys for watching. Check out all the links in the description below. I will also have the source code if you're too lazy to code it. Or maybe you just want to have it for resources. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. See you later.